I'm Professor Thomas Brück. I'm the head of the Werner Siemens Chair for Synthetic Biotechnology here at the Department of Chemistry at the Technical University of Munich. My research focus is on sustainable processes using waste biomass or greenhouse gases for the conversion into value-adding products with industrial use. And we have a focus particularly on biocatalysis. Sustainability for me is the use of resources in a sustained manner, meaning that materials that we use in industrial processes are not overusing the boundaries of our ecosystem and preferentially also do not impact biodiversity. The projects that we actually conduct here at the Chair of Synthetic Biotechnology are quite various, ranging from the conversion of waste biomass, the biological fixation of greenhouse gases using algae, as well as the conversion of those residual biomasses into value-adding products for the chemical, pharmaceutical, and food industry. Some examples are the production of oleochemicals for high-performance lubricants, the production of aviation fuels for CO2 neutral aviation and flight, but also high-value algae biomass, for example, for concentrated nutrition, that contain high-value proteins or vitamins such as folate, which are usually not found as much in conventional foods. On the other note, there's also the production of recombinant products for the pharmaceutical industry, preferentially things that have anti-inflammatory activity or antibacterial activity. We consider greenhouse gases such as CO2 and NOx not as a waste material, we consider them as a resource for our biotechnological processes. So climate change and combating climate change is certainly central to every aspect of our research. The oceans are a yet untapped resource for biotechnology, and algae certainly are one road that we are following up. I think algae bear an untapped potential in terms of biodiversity. We actually have about 150,000 algae that are yet not characterized thoroughly. And in industry, we're using currently about 10 strains, not more. So there's a wealth of biodiversity that we can tap into. Yeah, the mega theme of carbon capture and utilization is certainly the coming challenge for our society. It means that we have to rethink everything we do, from food production to generating commodity chemicals that we use in personal care to fuel applications. And I think we can reverse the climate change effects by utilizing CO2 as a resource. And we can fixate CO2 very efficiently using photosynthetic processes, and here the algae are prominent. Science and development transforms money into knowledge, but it is a long way of transforming knowledge into products. You need to understand what are the commercial drivers in the industry. Where do product developments need to be placed to make certain industry sectors more sustainable? So there's an outside trigger and an inside driver. Yes, we have a lot of resonance beyond our academic colleagues. We have a lot of interest from industry. There is a lot of visibility through our publications and patent portfolio, and also through long-standing relationships that we have with industrial partners. But certainly scientific reporting needs to be more prominent. to make not only the industry, but also governmental institutions and the general public understand that technology is the solution to today's and tomorrow's problems. One of the most prominent projects that we currently follow up is the conversion of algae oil, which is generally the conversion of CO2 by algae and then the accumulation of that oil in these algae cells. Basically, you have to imagine algae oil similar to a plant oil that you know from rapeseed or palm oil. This is a classical polymer that you use for making clothes, textiles, but it's also the universal precursor of all commercially available carbon fibers that are used in the automotive and aviation industry. So the next step that we have done is we have given this polymer to our industrial partners. They have converted this into carbon fibers, and this is the first example of a completely green CO2-based carbon fiber. And these carbon fiber composites are then the basis for making lightweight planes or lightweight cars. And lightweight building in the automotive industry is key to extend the range of electrical driving. On the other hand, in the aviation industry, it enables you to fly longer with the same amount of fuel. For that future, that should be sustainable, we're losing time. Time is of the absolute essence. And if we want to make that transformation of industry and society happen in time before our ecosystem collapses, we need new, innovative routes for scientific funding, long-term scientific funding beyond a legislation period of a single government. And I'm very happy that here at SUMME we have this powerhouse of knowledge. The human mind is the most powerful machine that we still have available to make this transformation happen. We can now transform that industry and make it carbon negative by starting a plane off with carbon fibers that are originally derived from CO2 via our algae processes. My vision is that there is an alliance of academia, industry, and government to enable focal research for this sustainable transformation on the long term. One particular example is the arrival of next generation DNA sequencing, which becomes more and more efficient and more cheaper almost every year. These drivers that enable us to accelerate our sustainable transformation of the industry. There's no time left. For me, that means not only being a driver of innovation, it means the responsibility to realize not only the scientific challenges, to overcome those challenges, but also to ensure that the technologies we develop are transferred into realization. Realization means commercialization. Thinking big, not small. The transfer of a technology from the lab to something that is behind us, a 1,000-liter fermenter, the first step towards industrialization is critical. Me, as a father of two, I have a responsibility. I want to provide a planet that is livable, full of biodiversity, but also enables a high standard of living to my children. That means sustainable transformation without ecological or economical compromise. I'm a thorough believer that this is possible, but we need to hurry up.